सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै। Let us chant up to verse number 9 together. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा। तामसी चेति तां शृणु सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत। श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषः यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः। यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः। प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः। अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपोजनाः। दम्भाहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः। मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्। आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः। यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु। आयुः सत्त्वबलम् sattvabalarogya rasya snigdha sthira hridyaha ahara satvika priyaha katvam lalavanatyushna ahara rajasasyeshtaha dukkha shokamaya pradaha. Arjuna's question was, Bhagavan, what about those people who don't follow the scriptures, but at the same time they have faith, they are not sensuous and disciplined, they follow the tradition of their forefathers. What about them? Those people, yajante shraddhayanvitaha, they do their worship, the rituals, etc. with great faith. What about them? Will they gain liberation? Yes. So answering Arjuna's question, Bhagavan said, Arjuna, you said they worship with faith. But what kind of faith? This you did not say. Just because a person has faith doesn't mean he is right. Because everyone has got faith on something or the other, somewhere or the other. So what is this faith? So we had seen, faith is the belief in something which is true. When I have that faith that this is true, then that is called my faith. It need not be right. But according to me, I feel it is right. Just because for me it is right, it doesn't mean that is absolutely right. So you said they worship with faith, but then we have to inquire into what kind of faith they have. And how is this faith born? So we have seen, all of us, we go through experiences in life. We analyze these experiences. Based on this analysis, we come to a set of conclusions. These set of conclusions are called faith. Now, your faith will depend on how you have analyzed your experiences. If your analysis is wrong, your faith also will be wrong. If your analysis is right, based on the knowledge of the scriptures, if your analysis of your life's experiences is right, then naturally your faith also will be right. Faith means understanding. Understanding about life. So your understanding about life will be right if you have analyzed your experiences based on the knowledge of the scriptures. But now here we are talking of people who are not exposed to scriptures. So then Bhagavan said, if that is the case, then we have to find out what kind of faith they have. Now to give an example about this faith, suppose there is a person, he finds that whenever he is alone, he is bored. Right? Whenever he is alone, he is bored. So therefore, what is his conclusion? In me, there is no happiness. Why there is no happiness in me? Because whenever I am alone, whenever I am left with myself, I don't feel happiness. So therefore, happiness cannot be in me. Happiness has to be outside me, because whenever I was with the world, I have been happy. When I am with my mobile phone, I am happy. When I am with my friends, I am happy. When I am watching some movie, I am happy. Right? So what does it mean? Whenever I am with the world, I am happy. Whenever I am alone, I am not happy. So therefore, where is happiness? Happiness is outside. Now this becomes his shraddhā. Because he has analyzed his experience. Now based on this analysis, based on this conclusion, what kind of lifestyle he will lead? You will find that he will hate loneliness, being alone. He will not want to be alone. So whenever he finds himself alone, immediately he will busy himself with his mobile phone, or he will chat with his friends. Because according to him, I by myself doing nothing can never be happy. Are you able to understand? Now, according to this faith, his lifestyle will be. So, always he will want to surround himself with people, with some work. He will hate being alone. This is his shraddhā, his faith. And accordingly, his lifestyle will reflect it. So, whenever there is a Saturday or a Sunday, he is scared. Because those days you don't have any work. There is off, there is no office. So he will busily plan what to do on Saturdays and Sundays. He can't think of not doing anything on Saturdays and Sundays. If there is nothing to do, he will sleep. But being alone, doing nothing, according to him, is nothing but sorrow. So he will try to escape being alone. Right? Now suppose there is another person who has gained the knowledge of the scriptures. So what will be his analysis? He also finds that when I am alone, I am bored. I feel lonely. I am not happy. But now he has the knowledge of the scriptures. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is you are Sat Chit Anand. You are happiness. Now he starts thinking, if I am happiness, then naturally when I am left to myself, I must be happy. Because happiness is my nature. If happiness is my nature, why should I search it from the world outside? Left to myself, I must be happy. But then I am not finding myself to be happy. So then naturally he will seek answers, and he will get the answers from the scriptures. What is the answer given by the scriptures? As long as your mind is extrovert, you will not experience the happiness which is your nature. As long as the mind is rajasic and tamasic, you will never experience the peace and bliss which is your nature. So therefore, if you want to experience that bliss which is your nature, what you should do? Withdraw yourself. Look within. Make the mind Sattvic. Make the mind peaceful. Make the mind pure. In that case, you can experience the peace within yourself. And so therefore, naturally what that person will do? He has faith in the scriptures. So he knows that whatever scriptures say, they must be right. So therefore, he will practice all those kinds of spiritual sadhanas, which will make the mind pure, which will make the mind quiet. He will try meditation. And since he is walking the path of the scriptures, he is walking the right path. So now what is his experience? In himself, he finds that happiness. Now what is his shraddhā? Happiness is my nature. I need not beg for it from the outer world. He is happy with himself. Are you able to follow? So how our shraddhā changes when we are rightly guided by the scriptures? This we have to understand. It is not only with this meditation, etc. It is with anything in this world. Puja Gurudev gives a beautiful example. Of course, he is making fun of himself. So somebody gifted him a radio set. Philips radio. He started playing the radio. And he found that only Colombo station was heard. He was very much annoyed. So in some other talk, he said this Philips is useless because it gives only Colombo station. Incidentally, the Philips general manager was there attending the talk. He said, Swamiji, this radio has no problem. Only thing is you must know how to tune. There is a knob here by which you can tune to different stations. So now see the shraddha, how it changes. Earlier, Gurudev felt that this radio is useless, it has only one channel. That was his shraddha. That was his belief. But when that, right knowledge was given to him, he was able to make use of the device properly. In the same way in life also. All of us, we go through experiences. Experiences alone will not make us wise, will not make us knowledgeable. If that were to be the case, all the old people must become equally wise because they have gone through all the experiences. But that's not what we see in this world. Experiences coupled with right guidance from the scriptures. That is what gives us wisdom. That's what makes us wise. So we have to make our shraddha perfect. So how to make our shraddha perfect? Bhagavan says, always have Sattvic shraddha. But what is this Sattvic shraddha? We must have knowledge. We must also have knowledge about what is not Sattvic shraddha. So Bhagavan says, there are three types, broadly, there are three types of shraddha: Sattvic, rajasic and Tamasic. So let us try to cultivate Sattvic shraddha where your understanding is perfect about the world, about yourself, about God, about truth. And let us try to avoid Tamasic and rajasic shraddha. So here now Bhagavan says, whatever activities we do, in all these things, our shraddha will be reflected. Our shraddha will be reflected in how we think, how we respond to the world, how we analyze life, what we value in life, etc. So here now Bhagavan is going to describe yajna, dana, tapas and ahara. So yesterday we were discussing about ahara. Yesterday we also saw about worship. What kind of deities a Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic persons they will worship. The type of deities, the mode of worship, the purpose of worship, all these things we had seen yesterday. Yesterday we had also seen the type of ahara, the food, which these three types of people they like. So what is the Sattvika ahara? Verse number 8. Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vavardhanaha rasyaha snigdhaha sthiraha hridyaha ahara sattvika priyaha. So what kind of food will they like? So yesterday we had seen that food which increases the longevity, increases the physical and mental strength, which does not make us sick. After eating which we are comfortable. Then while eating also it is tasty. It is nutritious. It has got moderate oil or ghee content. And it satiates our hunger. And even to look at it, it is very, mouth-watering. In short, this is the food we must have. Sattvic people will always be attracted to this kind of food. Now please understand, there is nothing called 100% Sattvic person, 100% Rajasic person. There is no such thing. Each person has got the mix of all the three. So when the mind is extremely disturbed, you will find it is in rajas. When the mind is extremely dull, it is a tamasic mind. When the mind is extremely alert, peaceful, then that is a sattvic mind. So according to the change of the moods of the mind, accordingly we will prefer one or the other. What about the rajasic food? For rajasic food, you have to add ati to everything. Ati katu, ati amla, ati lavana, ati ushna, ati tikshna, ati ruksha, ati vidahina. If you don't add ati, then these words will reflect a sattvic food. Because lavana, katu, everything is needed as far as food is concerned. As far as they are moderate, there is no problem. But the moment it goes to extreme, it becomes rajasic. Atikatu, extremely bitter, extremely sour, extremely saline, very, very hot, very pungent, very dry, and which burns your system. Very spicy hot or chilly hot. These kinds of food, rajasic people, they love. But what is the end result of this rajasic food? As far as a sattvic food is concerned, it will increase your lifespan. It is good for the body. Your physical and mental strength increases. But what about this? It is dukkha, shoka, amaya pradaha. While eating, there is sorrow. But he doesn't take it as a sorrow. It's burning all over. But he enjoys it. But after eating, definitely he feels guilty. He feels, I shouldn't have eaten. He suffers. And as a long-term result, amaya is the end result. Amaya means disease, various kinds of diseases. Whereas the sattvic food, it is arogya. You don't fall sick. Whereas this food, it makes you sick. Yes, now let us take up the third one. That is the tamasic food. The next verse, verse number 10. Yatayamam gatarasam pute paryushitam chayat uchchistamapi chamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam yatayamam gatarasam pute paryushitam chayat uchchistamapi chamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Yes. Bhojanam tamasa priyam. This is the kind of food which a tamasic person will enjoy, or a person in a tamasic mood will enjoy. So what are they? Number one, yatayamam. That food which is cooked and already 3 hours have passed. So it is cold, it is not fresh. Yama means 3 hours. So according to our, Hindu calculation, 1 day has 8 yamas. So 24 hours have got 8 yamas. So 1 yama will be 3 hours. So yatayamam means the food has been cooked, it was not consumed. So after 3 hours, when it has become very cold, it is not fresh. So that food is called yatayamam. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, for this term, he comments as Manda pakva. Manda pakva means not fully cooked, not properly cooked. So that is another meaning for this term, yatayamam, not properly cooked. Either it is uncooked or not fully cooked. Yatayamam. Gatarasam. Gata rasa means all the nutrition has gone from it. Rasam has gone. How did it go? Maybe it was overcooked, therefore all the nutrition has gone. When you cook the food too much, its nutritional content, they go away. Gata rasam has no nutritive value. Then puti. Puti means foul smelling. Durgandha yuktam. Puti, foul smelling. Then paryushitam. Paryushitam means stale, putrefied. It has been cooked, and after days together, the condition of that food is called, we say the food is stale, paryushitam. And then uchishtam. Uchishtam means refuse or leftover. It has been eaten half, that has been eaten by someone. Uchishtam. Then cha amedhyam. Medha means yajna, worship. So medhya means that food which can be offered as naivedya for Bhagavan. That is called medhyam. Amedhyam means that food which cannot be offered as naivedyam, means impure food. Amedhyam. This kind of bhojanam, this kind of food, tamasa priyam, they like it. Now we may wonder, how can a person like this kind of food? Stale, putrefied, not fresh, cold, foul smelling. How can a person like this? Now you have to understand the nature of a tamasic person. Who is a tamasic person? A lazy person is called a tamasic person, isn't it? The one thing which he hates is work. The one thing which he hates is action. And what is the one thing which he loves the most? Sleep and rest. This is the nature of a tamasic person. Now, if suppose the option is given to him, one option is work hard, go to the market, get the vegetables, cook and eat fresh food. So therefore, there is hard work and fresh food. On the other side, whatever is cooked yesterday, day before, take it from the fridge, heat it and eat it. This is the other option. It will happen in 5 minutes. Which one will he opt? Which one will he opt? A tamasic person is basically lazy. He doesn't want to work. So therefore, out of these two options, and these are the only two options, cook food and eat fresh food, or heat up the already cooked food in the fridge through microwave, oven, etc., and then eat. So which has minimum work? The second one. So he opts that. Understood? So whatever we do, nowadays that has become a very common thing. Cook food for the whole 1 week and slowly take part of it, heat it in the microwave oven and eat. Those food, according to our shastras, they are tamasic food. It tells something about the person. Now this is the way you have to think. Of course, the lifestyle also has changed. Both husband and wife, they work. Both of them come tired in the evening. Who has got the time or patience to cook? So whatever is cooked earlier, just heat it and eat it. Isn't it? So this is tamasa priyam. Of course, all those alcoholic drinks, everything comes under this, because they are all fermented, kept for days together. So all those drinks, etc., come under tamasic food. The tamasic food makes the mind tamasic. Rajasic food makes the mind rajasic. Sattvic food makes the mind sattvic. For a spiritual seeker, what kind of mind he wants to have? He will prefer to have a sattvic mind. So therefore Bhagavan says, in that case, you will have to be careful about what you eat also. And these things we see. Just observe, when you eat a rajasic food, what kind of mind you have. See the effect on the mind when you take a particular kind of food. Now here Bhagavan has told only about the quality of food. There are other factors also. What are the other factors? So these are the factors which have to be kept in mind when we take food. Number one, the source of food. Number two, quality, which we have discussed. Number three, quantity. Number four, frequency. Number five, mode of eating. These are the 5 things we have to keep in mind. What we have discussed is only the quality. Other factors are also equally important. What is the first one? Source. So they say, how has that food come in front of you? Who has cooked that food? With what intention that person has cooked the food? All these things will affect you. The scriptures say that. With what kind of money that food has been purchased? All these factors will affect the eater of that food. So source of food is very important. In the olden days, they never used to have food outside. This was the reason. Because we don't know how this food which is in front has come. But in case you are in such a situation, the best thing is chant the name of the Lord, and then all those defects are purified. Once you chant the name, the importance of the name of the Lord comes in the 17th chapter, in the end. So the first one is source. The second one is quality. Quality we have discussed. Sattvic, rajasic, tamasic food. The third one is quantity. That is also important. You may be eating sattvic food, but if you eat too much of sattvic food, what will happen? You will sleep off, meaning you will become tamasic. Eating sattvic food, you will become tamasic. Why? Because you have not paid attention to the quantity of food. So quantity is also important. Eat moderately. This quantity factor comes in the 6th chapter. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Bhagavan says everything should be moderate. Sleep should be moderate. Eating should be moderate. In life, everything should be moderate. Then there is peace, there is happiness. So the source, quality, quantity, and the fourth one is frequency. How frequently you eat. That also has to be taken into consideration. There are people who eat little, but very many times. Frequency also has to be controlled. There are people, early morning get up, they need coffee. Then there is breakfast at 8 o'clock. Then 11 o'clock again they want something. Again 1 o'clock they want something. And after eating again there is something they eat in order to get digested. For digestion another something. Again 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock some snacks. Again 8 o'clock dinner. Again before sleeping something. So this way we have to be careful about the frequency. Really speaking, 3 times eating is more than sufficient. Moderate eating. See, we have to be very careful about the mind. Once you have trained the mind to eat more, it will demand more. This is the nature of the mind. At 5 o'clock, if you make this a habit to take coffee along with snacks and this and that, every day at 5 o'clock the mind will demand, though there is no hunger. So what should decide whether you should eat or not? It is the hunger which should decide. Hunger alone should decide whether you must eat food or not. Very many times we eat food not for hunger but for taste. And this is an open gateway for all diseases. So frequency of eating also should come down. And then, what was the last one? Mode of eating. How do you eat? So our scriptures say, sit and eat. First thing. Nowadays everything is fast food. So people don't have time even to sit. They stand, eat and gobble up something and run. Scriptures say this eating is a kind of yajna karma. What are you doing? Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. Bhagavan says, I am that fire, that digestive fire I am. So even the eating process in our scriptures, it has been considered as a sacred yajna. Brahmarpanam brahmahavihi brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. So this digestive fire is Bhagavan. The one who is offering this food is nothing but the havis which you offer into the fire. And what is the fire here? In every yajna there has to be a fire, ritualistic fire. This fire is the digestive fire. So what is the ladle with which you offer? The hand. And who is offering? Jivatma is offering. And what is being offered? The food. The food is the havis which is being offered. So it is a very sacred act. And during this action, you are supposed to remember God. So even the eating process becomes a worship of God. This is how our scriptures wanted us to eat. So sit and eat, peacefully eat, prayerfully eat. And while eating, chew and eat. Be conscious. One of the biggest mistakes we do while eating is we don't chew properly. You know why we don't chew properly? There is also a psychology behind. If you just observe, next time when you eat, you just observe. The real taste of something comes only when you swallow. When you swallow, the real taste comes. So very many times you are eating for taste. So you want that taste urgently. So you have no patience for chewing. Some 3 or 4 times you chew and then you swallow. Now what happens when chewing is not done properly, saliva is not mixed properly, extra load goes to the stomach, which ultimately makes a person unhealthy. So next time when you eat, just for as an experimentation, put some figure for chewing. Let me chew say 30 times and then only I will swallow. Every time you put a morsel into your mouth, chew say 30 times and then swallow. Just see the effect after eating food. Of course you may take some extra time, but after that you just feel yourself. You will find you are very much comfortable. You don't feel heavy. This experiment you can do upon yourself. Right, now this topic is over. Now we come to the next topic, that is yajna karma. So here Bhagavan talks about Sattvic yajna, rajasic yajna and Tamasic yajna. So first one is Sattvic yajna. Let us chant verse number 11. Aphalakankshibhiryajnah vidhidrishto ya ijyate yashtavyameveti manah samadhaya sa sattvikah. अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः. Yes. So here, the next three verses, these verses deal with yajna. So what is yajna? Ritualistic worship is called yajna. So you have this homa kunda. So you chant some mantras and then offer havis. So traditional meaning is yajna. But nowadays, who is doing yajna? Nobody is doing yajna. So therefore, here we will have to take a special meaning. Especially for a Sattvic person, this special meaning is more applicable. What is the special meaning? Any sadhana we do for our spiritual growth can be called as yajna. Any sadhana. Whatever sadhana we do for our purification of mind, for the spiritual growth, that can be called as yajna. So in this line, we will discuss this verse now. Now what is being said here? Such a person, a Sattvic person, how does he perform this yajna? Aphala kangshibihi. He doesn't crave for any result, any material result. Vidhidrishtaha. He follows the scriptures, vidhi. So he performs sadhana based on the teachings of the scriptures. Yashtavyam eva iti. With this firm resolve that I must do. Manas samadhaya, with concentrated mind. When sadhana is done this way, then that spiritual sadhana is a Sattvic yajna. Now let us discuss term by term. Now here, we have to understand what is the shraddhā of a Sattvic person. What is his set of beliefs based on which he has taken up this spiritual sadhana? What is his belief? Because it is your belief which boils down to action. So what is his belief? A Sattvic person is very clear. I am miserable not because of the world, but because of myself. This is his fundamental understanding. I am suffering not because of others, but because of myself. So therefore, if I have a problem, I am the problem. It will be difficult to digest. Naturally, it will be difficult to digest because we are talking of the best ones in the society, the most evolved ones. So what is his understanding about life? I am actually Ananda Sarupa. But if I am not able to experience that Ananda, who has to be blamed? Not the world, but me myself. So in his life, he will never say, because of him, because of her, because of the situation, I am miserable. Never. The moment he is miserable, he will say, somewhere I am wrong. The pointer is pointed towards himself. Right? I am wrong means who is wrong? The Sattvic person will say, my mind is the problem. Who is the problem? My mind is the problem. If my mind is the problem, where should be the solution? In the mind itself, the solution is present. So what should I do? In life, there is only one thing to be done. Transform your mind. Transform your way of thinking. Correct your way of thinking. So once this is your shraddha, where will you work in order to gain happiness? You will work on yourself. You will not try to work on others. Suppose you think that other person is the cause of problem, so where will you work? You will work on other person, isn't it? Because of my children I am not happy, so you will try to change your children. Because of my husband I am not happy, so you will try to change your husband. Because of my wife I am not happy, so you will try to change your wife. Change your wife means transform your wife. Of course, changing is also right. Some people do that also. If transformation is not possible, the point is, this person is not of that category. What is this person? He says, if I am miserable, my mind is the problem. So therefore, let me correct my mind and let me correct my way of thinking. And what is the means to correct the mind? The means is spiritual sadhana. This is the way he has understood about life, and this understanding is absolutely right, because it is vidhidrishtaha. The teachings are based on this understanding is based on the teachings of the scripture. So he's absolutely right. Right? So what is his understanding? If my mind is filled with negative thoughts, I will be miserable. If my mind is filled with positive thoughts, I will be happy. So what should I do? Replace the negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Yes. Spiritual sadhana is meant for that. Filling our mind with positive thoughts. And moreover, this person is very well aware of the consequences of this sadhana. This is which gives him inspiration. What are the consequences? Number one, if your mind is peaceful because of your sadhana, who is the first beneficiary? If my mind is peaceful, who is the first beneficiary? I am the beneficiary. Because the mind is one thing which every moment it is there with us. So a peaceful mind is something which you enjoy every moment. You relish every moment, isn't it? A mind which is disturbed, a mind which is agitated, will you like the company of that mind? Never. So the moment my mind is at peace, I enjoy it. So a peaceful mind, I enjoy. A peaceful mind will be a contented mind. That state of contentment, I enjoy. It is a cheerful mind, I enjoy. It's a joyful mind, I enjoy. It's a dynamic mind, I enjoy. It's a creative mind, I enjoy. Isn't it? Even when the situations are unconducive, if my mind is at peace, I am happy. Irrespective of the unconducive environment around me. Moreover, when the mind is at peace, you have greater control over the mind. You will always find this. A Sattvic mind comes under your control easily. A Sattvic mind is an obedient mind. A Sattvic mind is a disciplined mind. A Sattvic mind is a peaceful mind, a tamed mind. So therefore, when you have a peaceful mind, a Sattvic mind, that mind comes under your control readily. Once the mind has come under your control, everything else comes under your control. Speech comes under your control. You are able to think and speak. The activities of the sense organs come under your control. The bodily actions come under your control. So you are in total control of yourself. It is impossible for such a person to make a mistake. These are all the benefits of a peaceful mind. Also, when your mind is at peace, you are able to take decisions perfectly and precisely. Decision making becomes very clear. You see everything in black and white, as they say. Everything is clear. There is no confusion. There is no delusion. This is the benefit of having a peaceful mind. All these are at the adhyatmika level. What about the adi bhautika level, external world? As I said, because your mind is under control, your speech, your action, your behavior, your personality, everything is under your control. So therefore you make intelligent contacts with the world. You are able to love everyone. You are able to respect everyone. You are able to cooperate with everyone. You are able to understand others. You are able to give happiness to others. Your speech is very sweet. Your personality is very sweet. Your actions are selfless, service-oriented. When these kinds of actions emerge from a person, what kind of response comes from the world? Equally positive response comes from the world. You speak to someone sweetly, that person also speaks sweetly to you. You help someone, the other person also is eager to help you. So what happens is slowly you form a beautiful world, a wonderful world around you. Do you accept? Your world around you will be a conducive world. A conducive environment you create around you. A beautiful world. You create a heaven around you. All because you have control over your mind. All because you have a peaceful mind. See the benefits. So this is at the adi bhautika level. And moreover, when your mind is at peace, you experience attunement with the divine. You experience the presence of God. This is possible only in a peaceful mind. You get clear guidance from the divine. What to do, what not to do, how to do. And once you are connected to that infinite source of knowledge, infinite source of peace, infinite power, it is something like charging the mobile. Now and then you keep charging yourself, what happens? Whatever the disturbance of the mind is, everything goes away. You are fresh. You are fresh to face the world again. So this is the experience of a person who regularly meditates. For him, meditation is like charging. When you interact with the world, you discharge. When you are in your meditation, when you are in your prayers, you charge. You become fresh. Right? A person who regularly meditates, he gets all these benefits. What about after death? After death also, whatever peace he has gained, it is carried forward. Because at the time of death, what comes along with you is not your body, is not your bank balance, your possessions. What comes along with you is your mind. The samskaras which you have gathered, it comes along with you. So what is the mind which you have trained, you have created? The mind is a peaceful mind, a disciplined mind. This mind comes along with you. The scriptures say such a person goes to the higher worlds and enjoys all those states. So after death also there is peace. If suppose he is reborn, normally such people are not reborn, they are realized. In case he is reborn, where will he be reborn? He will be born in a very cultured family because he has got a cultured mind. To express the vasanas of a cultured mind, there has to be a cultured environment. This cultured environment will come only when there are cultured parents. So therefore this person is reborn in a cultured family, in a prosperous family, in a conducive environment. See the number of benefits. A Sattvic person is aware of all this. So therefore what will be his highest priority in life? His highest priority will be to transform the mind, to purify the mind. Because once you have taken care of your mind, everything falls in place. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Once you take care of your mind, everything falls in place. Therefore, a Sattvic person gives the first priority to what? to the spiritual sadhana. He will be very, very regular in meditation. So that is why it is said, Yashtavyam, this must be done at any cost. He will find a time for meditation because he is aware of all these benefits. He will never say, I don't have time. He will have time because he values meditation. He values meditation because he knows the benefits of meditation. Regular prayer, regular meditation, whatever it is, puja, japa or whatever, your spiritual practices, you value it. Because that is the charging point. The whole day you are charged because of that few moments spent with the divine. So therefore he values. Yashtavyam, this must be done. Yashtavyam eva. Eva is very strong there. Even when I am sick, I will do it. Even if I have not eaten my food, I will do it. Even if I get up late, I will do it. I will find time for it. That is called Yashtavyam. It is very powerful there. Because he is convinced. The strength of your conviction is reflected in your action. Is reflected in the way in which you allot time for different things. Isn't it? Yashtavyam eva means that strength of conviction. Whereas a person who doesn't know all these things, he will have no time for prayer, no time for meditation, nothing. But he will have time for food. Why? Because he values it. What you value, you will have time. Yashtavyam eva. Must be done. Not only about these things, satsang, we will attend. Why? It is very important. Right knowledge is absolutely essential in living intelligently. So wherever there is satsang, he will not miss. He will go. Everything has to be understood this way. Now with what attitude he does? Aphala kangshibihi. Aphala kangshibihi means not for any particular result. Now here phala doesn't mean this spiritual phala. It means the material phala. Here. Because everyone functions in the world for phala only. No doubt. You can't perform action without desiring any result. Impossible. It is the result which motivates you. So when it is said here, aphala kangshibihi, what it means is, he is not doing for name, fame, power, position, etc. No. He is doing his spiritual sadhana not to show others that I am a holy person, a dharmic person, others should prostrate in front of me. No. He is not interested in all that. He is not interested in making a show of his spiritual practices. In fact, he will do it everything silently. He doesn't want others to know. As Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, in the bed, inside that mosquito coil, that curtain, he will do his japa. Others will think that he is sleeping. He is not sleeping, he is doing his japa. He will keep it secret. Because he is not interested in showing. Again, he is not doing all this japa to get something. Bhagavan, I want this, therefore this many rounds of japa I will do. So this person is more interested in the numbers than God. His sadhana is of very, very high level. It is not some cheap thing. You give God something and God will give something in return. In the form of money, power, etc. No. It is very clear why he is doing spiritual sadhana. He is very clear about it. I am the source of perfection. I am infinite. I am immortal. I am bliss absolute. This is already there in me. It is only the mind which is the obstruction. So I have to eliminate the obstruction. I have to overcome this obstruction. Mind is the problem. So therefore all the sadhana is done to improve the mind, transform the mind, make it peaceful. The goal is clear. His understanding is clear. Shraddhā is perfect. Why Shraddhā is perfect? Because it is vidhi drishtaha. Vidhi drishtaha means perfectly in tune with the scriptures. He has studied the scriptures. He has listened to the scriptural teaching. He has reflected upon it. He is convinced about the truth mentioned in the scriptures. So therefore, when he does sadhana, that sadhana is also backed by scriptural knowledge. Vididrashta. So how will he do? Manas samadhaya. Manas samadhaya means total concentration, total dedication, full involvement. He pours his heart and soul into it. Because he is seeing the goal. He is clear about the goal. The goal is so inspiring. How is it possible that I can put a half-hearted effort? Not possible. Manas samadhaya means total involvement. He is a self-inspired person. This is the kind of sadhana a spiritual, a Sattvic sadhaka will perform. Right? Avala kangshibihi vididrashtaha yashtavyam eva iti manas samadhaya yah ijyate sa sattvikaha. This is called yajna. What is yajna? Literal meaning of yajna is sacrifice. Which is the greatest yajna in life? The greatest sacrifice in life is sacrifice of one's own ego. In Homakunda you can give ghee and this and that. That is very easy. Which is the most difficult thing? Sacrificing one's ego is the most difficult thing. This Sattvic person is performing the greatest yajna where he is sacrificing his likes and dislikes. He is sacrificing his vasanas. He is sacrificing his very ego. What happens when ego is sacrificed? What takes its place? When ego is sacrificed, when ego is dead and gone, what takes its place is Bhagavan. Because ego is nothing but Bhagavan misunderstood. God misunderstood his ego. So when the ego is sacrificed, when the ego is gone, misunderstanding is gone, wrong understanding is gone. What remains is right understanding. And what is right understanding? Aham Brahma Asmi. So the greatest yajna is the yajna is in which one sacrifices one's ego. So what kind of sadhana is performing? He is performing a sadhana where there is humility, where there is surrender, where there is devotion, where there is dispassion. Because all these things when you practice, you directly, intuitively come to feel your divine existence. It becomes your experience. It is such a fulfilling experience that you don't crave for anything else. That's what the meaning afala kangshipi. No other phala is needed. You come to know you are complete, you are full, you are perfect. There is nothing which needs to be added to you to make you perfect. You are already perfect. And this experience comes when the mind is absolutely quiet. And in order to quieten the mind has to be extremely pure. So what is the kind of sadhana he is doing? He is trying to purify the mind. He is trying to quieten the mind. Knowing fully well that the perfection is there in me. Such a seeker, such a sadhana is called Sattvic yajna, which is performed by a Sattvic person. Okay, now this is about Sattva. What about Rajas? Next verse. Nothing much to explain. It is self-explanatory. Verse number 12. Abhisandhayatu phalam dambharthamapi chaiva yat ijyate bharata sreshtha tam yajñam vidhi rajasam abhisandhayatu phalam dambharthamapi chaiva yat ijyate bharata sreshtha tam yajñam vidhi rajasam. Know that yajna to be rajasic. So what are the important factors? So this person is doing a yajna. Both the context we will see. So as far as the spiritual sadhana is concerned, how we should interpret this verse? Abhisandhayatu phalam. So he is doing some spiritual sadhana. What is the purpose? There is a particular purpose for which he is doing. There is a phalam. Phalam uddishya. Abhisandhaya means, what you call, desiring a particular fruit. Keeping in mind a particular fruit. And what kind of phala? Not purity of mind, devotion, etc. No. It is all worldly phala. Name, fame, power, possession. So these things will keep coming for every rajasic person. All external things. Abhisandhayatu phalam. So he is doing japa so that he will get promotion. He is doing japa so that he will get some job. So he is doing japa so that he will be free from some troubles or whatever it is. Worldly thing. He is not interested in purification of mind and all, because according to him, the world is a source of happiness. If the environment is conducive, I am happy. If it is unconducive, I am miserable. So Bhagavan, please make the world conducive for my happiness. This is the begging. Abhisandhayatu phalam. He is a beggar number one. He will beg in front of God also. He will beg in front of influential people also. With power, rich people, he will beg. Because according to him, world gives happiness. So if world gives happiness, there are so many factors which decide the outer world. All those factors have to be conducive. So he will do everything. Among so many things, one is yajna. Right? Abhisandhayatu phalam dambhartamapi. Even when he performs yajna, he makes sure that others are watching him. When he does japa, he wants others to see. So that others will say, what a religious person. What a great devotee. What a holy man. What a dharmic person. He loves hearing those things. They are all sweet words. A Sattvic person will feel shy when he hears all this. In fact, he will never show also. Whereas this person is more interested in showing others. Dambha is there. Hypocrisy. So though he is also as though doing meditation, as though doing japa, etc., what is the condition of the mind? Karmendriyani sanyamya yaaste manasa smaran. Then indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara sauchyate. He is seated in Padmasana. Padmasana he will be sitting. In the mind, what is going on? Not Padmanabha. But Bhagavan is not there. How many people are watching me in this asana? Maybe people are praising me. Because this asana is very difficult. He will go through tremendous pain. Padmasana, after 5-10 minutes, it starts paining. Now he will not release it. Because people are watching. This is called hypocrisy. Dambha. It appears as though he is doing spiritual sadhana, but nothing is happening. Dambha is there. Now with respect to this yajna, what you call, the ritualistic yajna, if you see, he is performing the yajna for a particular result, and there is dambha involved. Dambha means too much of show. Lot of money will be spent. Big celebrities will be called. All photographers of all the newspapers will be invited. He wants his yajna to be known to everyone. Lot of publicity will be done. But yes, vidhi drishtaha. It will be done according to vidhi, no doubt, because he wants the result. Since he wants the result, he will do it according to vidhi, but there will be too much of show off. This is the kind of rajasic worship. What about tamasic worship? Tamasic yajna is the next one. That topic we will better take tomorrow. Normally tamasic people don't worship, but sometimes helplessly, out of the social pressure, sometimes they are forced to do it. How do they do it? That we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om